On the Humble Pine Tree. Gardening by Kathy Gardiner. On the property bordering mine is a pine tree. A very old girl with battle scars of an old barbed wire fence and fence posts that have literally become one with the tree. The roots that run along the surface of the soil are gnarled and worn. A sprinkling of pine cones litter the ground underneath, and at this time of the year, the toadstools are there too. The tree, I am sure, has been there as long as the little timber, tin and wattle and daub miner's cottage. What stories they could both tell. If you want to underplant a pine tree with something easy, try Liriope and Clivius. Mass planted, they look lovely and they tolerate the shade well. But also, a carpet of needles and cones looks lovely too. Pine needles can make the soil more acidic, which can make planting tricky. Consider changing the acidity of the soil with compost or other organic matter to improve drainage and fertility. I have just returned from a trip to Japan, where bonsai and the severe pruning of pines makes me have a whole lot of gardening plans in my head, not to mention the gorgeous Japanese dry or rock gardens. A lot of the pine trees in Japan are black pines. Pruning is often done in late winter or early spring, before new growth begins, to allow for healing and concealment of cuts. While I was there, I sat quietly as the gardeners meticulously pruned the trees with small handsaws and secateurs. Branches are pruned to create layers, maintaining a desired shape and removing undesirable growth, such as vertical or downward-facing branches. A lot of the mature trees were supported from underneath with bamboo or timber crutches. And the tiny bonsai pine trees were just fascinating. And the hydrangeas, and dogwoods, the sculptured azaleas, the gardenias, cropped bamboo, inspiring, warm. But back home in Warrandyte, home fires are burning bright, and the smell of firewood fills the air on cold nights. In winter, I always have a big basket of dry pine cones that I have collected over summer. They become a prized natural resource. Dry, woody and rich in resin, pine cones are excellent fire starters. Gathered and stored in a basket by the fireplace, they light quickly and burn hot, making them perfect for kindling. You can also dip pine cones in wax or beeswax and essential oils like eucalyptus or cinnamon, creating aromatic fire starters that not only spark flames but also release comforting scents as they burn. The firewood from the pine, while not the longest burning wood, catches easily and produces a bright, crackling fire, ideal for quick warmth or outdoor fire pits. The resin in the wood adds a sharp, sweet aroma to the air. However, pine wood rather than red gum is best used outdoors or as kindling, as the sap can contribute to build-up in chimneys if burned excessively indoors. Around Warrandyte and neighbouring suburbs, pine trees were often planted as windbreaks. Their dense evergreen foliage created a natural barrier against winter winds, protecting livestock, homes and, of course, gardens. They are still being planted as a barrier from peeping eyes and busy roads. Just remember that pines, conifers or cypress hedges will grow big. Make sure your spacing is considered when planting. Keep a distance from the house and existing timber paling fences. And remember not to let them get out of hand. They will need pruning yearly, if not more, to keep them neat. And if you are not prepared to maintain them, it can be costly to employ someone who will. Remember, now is the time heading into spring to fertilise box hedges. Sometimes new buxus or box plants can change colour and take on a bronze tone during a very cold winter. They are not necessarily dead. This is normal and is often due to very cold nights with bright sunny days, and cold winds are also known to cause this bronzing. At the start of spring, feeding them with an all-purpose fertiliser will help them return to their normal colour. Beyond firewood and wind protection, pine trees also offer something more unusual: pine needle tea. My daughter and I enrolled on a foraging course, and one of the items we collected was pine needles. We were told they were rich in vitamin C and antioxidants. Young green needles from non-toxic species like white pine can be steeped in hot water to create a citrusy medicinal tea. It's an age-old remedy for winter colds and other health benefits. I have been drinking a shot in the morning of a concoction of orange peel, lemon juice, ginseng, turmeric and ginger. Wow, it makes your face screw up, but touch wood, I have managed to avoid the colds and coughs of this year. I think there is a little vegetable garden menu right there. I wonder if they are each other's companion plants. Citrus with rootstock crops of ginger, turmeric and ginseng. I'm sure they require a warmer climate than Warrandyte, but it might be something worth experimenting with against a warm wall. There's a quiet magic in the way pine trees serve us through winter. Whether it's through the heat of a pine cone fire, the scent of a bonfire curling into the night sky, the medicinal warmth of pine needle tea, or the shield of a cypress hedge. There are few trees as generous in winter as the pine tree. The humble pine tree emerges as an unsung hero of the season, towering, fragrant, and full of uses. Go give one a hug.